Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Welcome, everyone. In this section, we'll look at the correlation between Net Promoter Score and other critical call center metrics. Let's begin our correlation analysis with NPS versus Customer Satisfaction, or CSAT. The two metrics are closely related, but they measure different things. CSAT looks at short-term satisfaction, how happy a customer felt immediately after a single interaction. It answers the question, was this experience good or bad? On the other hand, NPS reflects long-term loyalty and overall brand perception. It goes beyond a single touchpoint and asks, do I trust this company enough to recommend it to others? Over time, the two reinforce each other. When customers consistently report high CSAT, those positive experiences accumulate and translate into higher NPS. In contrast, weak CSAT scores, even if occasional, chip away at long-term loyalty and drag NPS down. Here's an example. A contact center with a CSAT score of 90% might see an NPS of plus 50, showing strong loyalty. But when CSAT falls to 70%, NPS may drop to just plus 10, signaling customer relationships are at risk. The key takeaway is that CSAT is the building block for NPS. Strong daily experiences create promoters, while repeated poor experiences create detractors. Next, let's look at the correlation between NPS and first call resolution, or FCR. FCR is one of the strongest drivers of customer loyalty. When issues are resolved on the very first call, customers save time, avoid frustration, and walk away with confidence in the brand. This efficiency directly boosts NPS. On the other hand, low FCR creates friction. When customers have to call back multiple times for the same issue, they begin to feel ignored or undervalued. Every additional interaction increases frustration, reduces trust, and lowers loyalty scores. Let's put this into perspective with an example. A call center with FCR at 85% might see an NPS as high as plus 55. But when FCR drops to 60%, NPS may fall to just plus 20. The message is clear. If customers can't get their problem solved the first time, they're far less likely to recommend the brand. So, improving FCR isn't just an operational goal, it's a loyalty strategy that directly lifts NPS. Now let's explore how average handle time, or AHT, connects with NPS. The correlation here is all about balance. Extremely long calls often signal delays, confusion, or inefficient processes. Customers lose patience, and NPS drops. On the other hand, extremely short calls can feel rushed, leaving customers with the impression that their issue wasn't handled thoroughly, again leading to lower loyalty. The sweet spot lies in an optimal AHT that balances speed with quality. Customers want their issues resolved efficiently, but they also want to feel heard and valued. When agents strike this balance, the customer experience improves and loyalty scores rise. For example, when AHT averages around 400 seconds, NPS can be as high as plus 50. But if AHT stretches to 700 seconds, NPS may fall to plus 25. Too long or too rushed, both hurt the experience. The lesson is clear. Managing AHT isn't just about efficiency, it's about creating the right kind of interaction that leaves customers satisfied and willing to recommend the brand. Next, let's examine the link between NPS and service level, or SL, along with SLA compliance. When service levels are high, Customers are answered quickly, wait times are short, and the overall experience feels smooth. This responsiveness directly improves satisfaction and translates into higher NPS. But when SLAs are breached, the story changes. Long delays, broken promises, or unanswered service commitments leave customers frustrated and less trusting of the brand. Every missed SLA is more than an operational slip, it's a broken promise to the customer, and that pushes NPS down. Here's an example. A call center operating at 85% service level may see an NPS of plus 60. But when service level slips to 60%, NPS may crash to just plus 15. The correlation is clear. Customers reward reliability and speed, and penalize delays and inconsistency. So, SLA compliance isn't just about meeting a contract, it's about building trust, protecting loyalty, and lifting NPS. Let's now look at how call transfer rate, or CTR, correlates with NPS. Every time a customer is transferred, their effort increases. They often have to repeat information, explain their issue again, and wait longer for resolution. The more transfers, the greater the frustration, and the lower the loyalty. On the flip side, when calls are resolved with minimal or no transfers, the experience feels smoother. Customers appreciate faster resolutions and value agents who take ownership. Fewer transfers directly contribute to higher NPS. Here's an example. When CTR is kept around 5%, NPS can reach plus 55. But when CTR climbs to 15%, NPS may drop to plus 25. The takeaway is simple. Customers don't want to be passed around. Reducing transfers not only streamlines operations, it strengthens trust and boosts loyalty. Finally, let's connect NPS with customer retention and churn. When NPS is high, it means more promoters, loyal customers who stay longer, renew services, and often bring in new business through referrals. This translates into higher retention and repeat revenue. But when NPS is low, the balance shifts. More detractors mean more customers at risk of leaving. Churn rises, and with it, acquisition costs climb, since replacing lost customers is always more expensive than keeping existing ones. Here's an example. With an NPS of plus 50, a call center might see a retention rate of 90%. But when NPS drops to plus 10, retention can fall to just 65%. That difference represents not only lost customers, but also lost revenue and higher costs to win new ones. The message is clear. NPS isn't just a customer experience metric, it's a predictor of long-term business sustainability. Now let's look at how abandon percentage, or AB%, connects with NPS. When abandon rates are high, it usually means long queues and frustrated customers who give up before reaching an agent. These customers often leave with unresolved issues and a negative perception of the brand. Naturally, loyalty drops, and NPS falls with it. But when abandon rates are kept low, it signals efficient staffing, shorter queues, and a smoother experience. Customers are more likely to get the help they need without waiting excessively, which leads to higher satisfaction and stronger advocacy. For example, with an AB% of just 5%, NPS can reach plus 55. But when abandon rates rise to 15%, NPS may plummet to plus 20. The conclusion is clear. Every abandoned call is a lost opportunity to build loyalty. Reducing abandon rates not only improves operational efficiency, it directly strengthens customer trust and Net Promoter Score. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.